Well, golly, like Gomer Pyle.
From the land of Tripoli.
Cadillac Medley. What are y'all doing? How we doing, y'all? I missed y'all. How we doing, JB? What are you up to? Brew Crew, what's up, dude? Rhodesia. Man, we are working on Iron Cheeks here. Oh, man, good to see y'all. Sorry, I was going live the other night and nothing like a rock band walking in. That was awesome. And C-Ball Slime, what's up, my dude? Matty B. Man, I'm great, Inberg. I hope y'all, oh yeah, man, finally, Hardwood, thank you. It is so good to be back and not, like, laid out. It has been a long time. It has been a long time. Anzard, what's up? Oh, so we're working on it, Rhodesia. Like, man, if y'all knew how crazy this stuff is behind the scenes sometimes, trying to get signings, it's nuts. Ty, what you doing, dude? I hope you're good out there in Seattle. Happy Thursday, Nate. It's going great. I don't know if we're gonna get Maxi now. We're trying. It's really complicated when you're trying to do a signing and the agent gets involved. Oh, what up, Limestone? Dude, come on, man. Thank you, Brad. It was awesome. We had a ball. Let's go. Amelia, what did you get? Who was it? I'll be right here Friday the 17th to meet you in person. Clay, what up, dude? Man, some like the agent got involved with one of our guys and was like, I mean, I won't say the price, but so and so for 2 hours, and it was like, oh my gosh, he'd have to sign every board on the wall and we'd have to sell it all to break even. It was crazy. Bid on lot 22, Fox USA. Oh wow. I gotta check this out. What is this, Ben? I gotta check that out. I am not going to Chicago on Labor Day weekend. I wish you. Isaiah, what's up, my dude? Sorry, I had to go back and look. I get yapping all the time. So yeah, we were going to talk about the state of all the Fanatics stuff and all that craziness. And then Pop Evil walked in and we just had a ball. I mean, we had a ball. Love those guys. They're so chill. Spencer, what's up, dude? Curry Ball's here, my dude. Oh, no, Ben. That's right. I'll repost all this. I wish I owned Fanatics. Actually, I would have done things a lot differently on some of that stuff. But anyway. And the Pop Evil guys were awesome. Like, legit card guy. Like, Lee is a card guy. And it was awesome. And we geeked out and had a blast. Dude, Bup, thank you. Boop. Thank you. And we're actually ripping live tonight. If anybody wants to get anything, you're welcome to. Hey, what's up, Mile High? Dude, I had COVID when we were gonna go up to your show, man. I'm so sorry I missed it. Like, we were all down. I mean, other than David, it was we were crushed. So, yeah, ripping live, whatever anybody wants to lip and just talk a little bit of hobby. Jax, what up? An Apptown kid, what you doing, man? Man, I am, like everybody else, processing all the Fanatics news and Panini news and all that, and I have lots of thoughts. All that, tell me your thoughts. I got lots of that. Trey's over here. Look. Oh, let me flip this around. Look at that. I've ripped a little bit, Brad. I've probably done like 4 jumbos and 2 hobby of Topps Chrome. Oh man. And I ripped that today, which I love the Topps Galaxy. There he is, Game Used Cards is on too. Trip Dub, how you doing? Dude, I totally agree, Trip Dub. That's what I was about to get into. How about my man Malik Monk going to your Lakers, Trip Dub? Come on. Yeah, unfortunately one is. Worst habit ever to stop. It's so start, stop, it never started. But, man, how about Galaxy? It is beautiful. I just want to pull a Connell card so bad. So bad. Oh, you do? Bryce, that's awesome. Come on by. We'll be here for sure. Tyler Zuber. Okay, cool. I will try and pull that for sure. Jarvis, what's up, man? I am so glad to be back. Dude, Trip Dub, when that dude gets hot, and hopefully the change of scenery helps him become more of what we thought he would be. But my goodness, dude, that guy can ball when he gets hot. Oh, he can ball. He is so fun. Just go watch highlights of not the tournament game where we lost, but the Carolina game in December of his year at Kentucky. Oh, man. He dropped 47?
Yeah.
It was 47, and it was crazy. Shoot. Damn, what's up, my man? It is not, Rob, because it's Galaxy's too many packs a little bit. But I'll ship you some for sure. So let's talk about the Fanatics news and all that stuff. If y'all want to. And just do some questioning. The way I look at it, so I look at it from several different points of view. So to me, one thing that's great that I learned in my business life is panic slowly. Panic slowly. And there's always going to be these crazy reactions. I'm sure y'all have friggin' listened to tons of that. And thank you, Ben, from Rev 1, my dude. I just appreciate it. So it's really interesting. So I look at it. So first, let's break it down. The way I try and logically tackle all this is one as a collector and one as a shop owner. And Tree City, I hadn't come in yet, but it might be at home. I haven't been home today. I can't wait. One is a collector, one is a shop owner, and one just looking at the industry business. Yeah, Dave, there's a lot of that. So let's start with collector first. Just Jimmy the collector that loves cards and seeing what's going on. So it's interesting to me. So one is there are things to be excited for, and then there's a lot of pain points too, even as a collector. Because and I think that's more with the basketball guys and with Topps, where you've got, so for instance, I think that the pain point of the names of products that you loved, and again, I'm starting small. And yeah, equity part was big. We'll get into that. To me, the idea that National Treasures and Immaculate and those names go away is one thing that's a pain point. If you've fallen in love with them over the last 10 years. And you got to remember, there are no Kevin Durant Panini rookie cards, right? Because they weren't around then, right? It's been a short time, relatively speaking, that they have been in the basketball game. And then you think about, obviously people will well, now Fanatics should just go buy Panini or buy Topps. That doesn't make a lot of business sense. Because you think about when Panini took over basketball in 2008, 2009, 2010, I can't remember right now. 9-10. All the things that my age guys grew up with, Exquisite, SPX, SP Authentic, limited logos, things like that, they didn't transfer over to Panini. Now, Upper Deck still made unlicensed basketball cards, but even when they stopped doing that and couldn't do that anymore, Panini didn't go buy the names for those because they didn't have to. And I think that my guess is a boardroom full of business guys might not be thinking, why would we pay for that, right? And I think I don't think so, Mike. I don't think what are they getting if they buy that? That's the question from the business. If no, and I think this is where the pain point comes in with Topps. So Topps after this year cannot, what is it, 2022, cannot make a baseball card. So then you've got Bowman goes away, right? So then think about it. If you're Fanatics and you want to buy the Bowman name, because I'm guessing that Topps owns the Bowman name, copyrighted, there's no question. So then you've got to go back. That means Fanatics would have to negotiate with with Topps to buy the Bowman name. Well, first of all, I don't think they are going to sell that name to Fanatics. But even if they are, Fanatics has now the chance to create their own Bowman, right? Why would they buy that? Brand equity, 70 years. There's a lot of brand equity here. This is why the one that makes a little bit of sense. Would they try? But Topps is going to ask a lot for the Bowman name. And then Fanatics is going to say, why would we pay X for the Bowman name when you can't even make a Bowman card? It doesn't make sense from a pure financial business guys in a boardroom, right? So I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that my guess is we own this for 20 years. We're going to go ahead and start the new Bowman, right? Or the new Allen again, or new Gypsy Queen. And all those names will go away just the way Panini did, where they didn't try and buy Upper Deck, Exquisite, and SP Authentic and all those names. They started National Treasures and Immaculate and Prism. And that, to me, makes more sense being in rooms with business executives, right? Totally. So to me, it's about, that's a pain point because those of us, a small one for collectors, right? The next thing I would worry about as collectors is quality of card, which none of us will know until it happens. What is the quality going to be? After that, I think where the things that you can get excited about are more about player equity. If you read that deal and you see that deal, players got equity in the card, the union and all this. Lion, what's up, my dude? Miami, what's up? If you've got skin in the game in a business and not just getting paid per autograph or paid this per year, and if you do better, you will make more money. I think, to me, it is going to increase like the player participation in the card community because they have actual ownership of the company. If you have actual ownership of the company, you're going to try and make more money and do better with it. And that's just my perspective, that could turn into something great. Yes, Alex, my dude, I am. Thank you, Emilio. So I feel great. So to me, I think that would increase quite a bit of the involvement of the players with equity. Equity is always great, and that was probably why there weren't phone calls between the leagues. And this is where I get into the business side a little bit, but that was probably the deal sealer, was the equity, is my guess. Anytime you can get ownership of a company, even a small piece, it's going to make more sense for you, and then it's going to involve you more in the decision making and the desire to make it great. So the really interesting thing is, we all know Fanatics and the different types of apparel. I bought from them, y'all bought from them. Some stuff's terrible, some stuff's awesome, all that. The game used piece is really, really great because I believe they bought Steiner 2 years ago, or 3 years ago. But them absorbing all of that game worn was quite a bit of more stuff. So the interesting thing is, oh, hey, JW King, I got plenty lying around. They're all on the website. All right, so let's talk about it from a hobby shop, my perspective. Ryan, Car Collector 2, all of the guys, RBI crew, IndyCar Exchange, all of us, what are we thinking about? And this actually goes down to the Collector 2, but it's about distribution. So the guy running this says, I think it's Josh Luber from StockX, right, is the name that we've heard. I'm sure his phone is smoking right now. But it's about distribution, because if you go 100% direct to consumer, I think that is what you got to be worried about. Because if it goes 100% direct to consumer, what are you going to have? That means no hobby shops, 100%. Again, this is the worry. That means no hobby shops can buy from either distributors or direct. It means distributors don't buy direct and sell to hobby shops. And it means all of us are on the same playing field of getting unopened packs and unopened boxes from the internet. But we all know what that turns into, right? Yes, Miami, they did, but those are not the same level as Bowman and National Treasures and all those. And very, very different thing. But yes, you are absolutely correct. Again, we don't know. This is just speculation on my part. If it becomes the only way I can get an unopened box certified is I have to have a war with a bot. Right, Trip Dub's got it. If it's bots going after unopened products, that's a disaster for everybody, in my opinion. Because what it'll do is it's going to create de facto distributors, right? Where GTS and Southern Hobby and all these other guys that buy from Panini and then sell to hobby shops, and then we can buy it and we mark it up and sell it in shop. That option goes away. Now the dude that's got the best bot becomes the distributor to everybody, right? This is just like buying wax off. And they do, like Panini and Topps do it now, where you can get some, but you can always go to a shop, right? Sneakers app, got them, right? You don't want that, because then what happens is, how many hobby shops can stay around without wax? And that's tough. Like, we would pivot and shift and figure it out for sure. We wouldn't go anywhere. And I'm not changing a single plan on us opening our other shops. But I also think that hurts the hobby, because then, like, I had 2 guys in today, and they're like, we tried to get them at Target. Of course, couldn't get them at Target. You tried to get them online. They couldn't get them online. They came here, and yeah, you can't get a retail blaster, but you can buy a hobby pack. You can get these cards in a pack from somebody, and we can make a little bit. We don't make a ton on some of these, but at least it's here and it's available. If shops and kids and breakers, it'll also really kill breaking, where, again, if all boxes are 100% direct, breakers got to try and break by buying using bots to get the product, and then they got to mark up from what you saw it on the website for Fanatics for. And we don't want that either, because we've got to mark up. Like, say if we're buying from a distributor and the distributor marks it up 50%. Say Panini sells to a distributor for $500, and then the distributor sells it to us for $1,000. We got to take we'll mark it up $50 and have to take a $1,000 risk to make $50. That's why you don't want that, right? So, and it's been marked up 2 or 3 times, like, along the way. So you would totally cool with stuff hitting the internet. I love it when Panini and Topps put their stuff, right? But you don't want to on the internet, you don't want to have 100% of it do that. Because even with us, with about to have 4 shops and 1 successful shop, you don't want the guys that got to worry are the one shop owner in one town, right? That for 20 years they have had a direct account with Tops, or they have had a great account with Southern Hobby, or a great account with GTS. And if Fanatics goes direct to consumer, all that means nothing. And now that one shop that you always love to go to for 30 years in this town, they can't stay open because they don't. And it would also be the same shop that didn't get on social media, that doesn't have a huge social media presence, that doesn't do Twitter or Instagram. Just the old owner, good guy that ran his shop based on his distributor account or direct account. I think those would really go away. Not yet, Dan, but we got a great friend in Louisville. We probably wouldn't do Louisville, but we're close enough. But I think, thank you, Brad. I appreciate you. So to me, as a collector, it's, to recap a little, it's the pain point of like the names and what's going to happen with the names like Bowman, National Treasures, Immaculate, Prism, the big 4 that hit my mind right away, especially Prism and Bowman. I think the likelihood of those transferring is low, but hopefully it would work. Lou Star, what's up, man? Absolutely. Yes, I think we are. The 9th. Yes, I'll be around. So if Fanatics does, yeah, we will release online, but we're also going to do direct accounts with hobby shops. Then that's also interesting for collectors, where it resets the board. I can tell you what happens is we have to go, like when you open a shop, the biggest concern you have when you're opening a shop is not singles. It's about distribution. It's about, how do I get unopened packs for my people? Well, you got to get in line. And this guy's got 30 years, he's ahead of you, and this guy's got 20 years. It doesn't matter how much money you have, you got to get in line. Now, people would probably argue that last part because that too can be different. And you got to get in line with Panini and Tops and all that. And they are great to work with, both of them. I can tell you that. But what happens is this would reset the board. Fanatics, if they came in and said, we're distributing to hobby shops, everybody get in line, it's not going to matter who had the direct account for 30 years or things like that. So that could change the amount of wax your hobby shop gets wherever y'all are located. And same with breakers. It could totally change that because all those relationships in history will change in the next 5 years. I'm not as worried about the overprint market. I'm so with you, and money changes people and it messes up with their heads and companies. I think that would be one of the dumbest possible things that they could do to run a long-term golden goose into a short-term disaster. And I bet my guess is there would be some part of this that would be written into these contracts. But I know that you have to sell a certain amount. Like Panini and these guys, they had to make a certain amount of cards to sell a year, and they were smart. They broke it up into products, so we had all different products instead of one product, and they could hit their quota. But I'm hoping Fanatics takes that same thing. I doubt that they would change too much initially from something that they felt was most valuable enough to spend $800 million or whatever they spent on it, right? It's a lot more relationships to manage. I agree, and that's why the totally agree, Bay Area. Rob has got, if y'all don't know, Rob's got massive business experience, great business experience. So, but you don't want to go 100% direct, and they might argue, but it becomes a bot war where people cannot get the cars. Shops don't get unopened packs anymore, and then we would all shift to singles market and repacks, in my opinion. I could totally see that, Brad. I totally see that. from an overall industry perspective, I think South Park said some really smart things when he was talking about it, actually. But like going back to names and a lot of the stuff that's out there, like we have seen these changes before, right? And a lot of y'all wouldn't be old enough, but I remember Upper Deck coming into the game. I remember certain like Press Pass going away, you know, SPX and Exquisite going away. I feel like the hobby's very adaptable. So I think that's interesting. Cards, pets. I don't see how that negotiation would go. I think business wise, it doesn't make as much sense. My guess is if I buy Toyota, I might. Well, that's probably not a good example. Let me think. Like, if nobody else can make cards except for you, you can start your own brand equity, right? Like, there is no competition. There's zero competition. So, yes, Bowman has the name that we all love for baseball prospecting, but there can't be a Bowman card. So why not start your own Fanatics thing to try and become the next Bowman? And then what does the negotiation look like between the company you just kneecapped, them selling you a name for you to be more successful and keep some of those? That would be, I would love to sit in that meeting. But they would probably ask a ton for it. And then Fanatics would say, we're not paying that for it. And they'll be like, fine. And everybody say, all right, fine. So that's all book it. Dude, Frankenstein, what's up, my dude? To me, it would either buy it or recreate are your two options. And I just don't know how that negotiation would go. It doesn't seem like it would go very well. And do you need to buy it? That's the question. Buy it or recreate it. Do I need to buy it? And that's the business decision. And it's like, oh, well, what are they going to ask for it? How am I going to do that? Or I can just make my own and become the new standard. Right? It's exactly right, Brad. Like, so why spend whatever they ask for Bowman? So they ask for 200 or 200,000 for the name, $1 million, 20 million, who knows? If you're Fanatics, if you own the business, would you say, I have to buy this, knowing what these other names would come and go? Or do I just try to create my own thing? Oh, I know. I remember that live too. And me too, Miami. I just don't know if it's going to happen. So I think that's a really interesting thing on the soccer cards because soccer hasn't changed. UFC hasn't changed. That's why there's also a great thing. Like, I want to sit and talk with Panini and those guys and say, I want more because I love all the things that weren't bought and shouldn't change. And I've got so many questions that they wouldn't tell me, but that would be wonderful to hear. Like, do you plan a big pivot? Like, they still own Kentucky and Ohio State and all this licensing, and they can make cards, and you got NIL coming. Like, what a great big opportunity, because whenever this stuff goes down, there is always opportunity. There is always wonderful opportunity in this stuff. So I just hope that it's not 100% direct to consumer. I think that's bad for everybody, including the consumer. I do. I think it becomes a bot war that is terrible. So, yeah, Limestone. I think there's a lot to be so then the question is, Limestone, on that is, do you say we are shuttering our doors? We lost this amount. Or we're going to pivot. We're going to go heavy into soccer, heavy into wrestling. If you're Panini, we're going to go heavy into soccer, heavy into collegiate cards, heavy into these UFC that are beautiful. And pivot. And yes, they're going to end up laying off people and scaling down big time. But do these two companies that we know and love pivot to what they do have? Because they don't own the machines. Like, there is one company that owns I believe this is right. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure that the company, like everybody, had to make cards through the same company, through the same people that own the machines. You got to make hard choices, right? It's totally right. It will be a great thing, hot sauce, because then what it does is, so the other good thing is, I would welcome heavy into collegiate too. But what Fanatics could do, and I feel bad for the folks at certain distributors, just distributors, what they could do is cut distributors out, cut that middleman out, and go direct to hobby shops. And that would actually make prices, it'll depend on blowout and what they decide to do on a lot of stuff. But that could bring prices down, actually, because then the hobby shops wouldn't have to pay the markup that the distributors do. They're just a middleman. So if they all go to managing hobby shops, which is a huge financial decision for them, because then they got somebody to help manage a bajillion hobby shops, but then you can sell directly to me and I can price it according to that direct price from the manufacturer, which would be huge. I don't know, Miguel. I mean, I think that they're already pretty great. I think that it would make sense that the focus would be huge on those. But then, yeah, and it depends, Hokey, you can open it just depends. It's what we had to face. If you're opening a hobby shop, I'm optimistic too, Chris. Garrett, absolutely. To me, if you go direct to hobby shops, you will cut out a middleman. You will allow hobby shops to price a little bit better than what it's been lately, hopefully. And then you also create a place for folks to go because they can't wait they can't get it at Target. They got outbotted online, but they still have a place to go. Direct to LCS would be the dream. Well, thank you, Oki. You're too kind. And I would hope that would make it easier for other people to open shops because they can get in line and there's a fair way of doing it, which I think was just out of hand for some folks for a long time because they just couldn't get in line. They couldn't get in there. Mars, I don't blame you if you're tech savvy, but I guess the point is, okay, so that's really good for a tech savvy person. Is it good for the hobby long term? Because if it only goes to the tech savvy people and it runs out, and it could affect the hobby in a way that will devalue your collection and devalue the hobby. If you go direct to LCS, you wouldn't lose that, and you'd still have direct to customer stuff on all those sites. So why wouldn't you do both? I think it's more of a both thing. And by the way, I don't know if anybody wants to rip anything, but I can put we got some stuff. Hold on. By the way. Woo!
Tell them to use the code free shipping.
Free shipping
US
is a free code. Oh, hold on. Let me.
Howdy. You want to show them?
Right. Hot sauce. You get it. I think that's why people have to realize the overall goal, yes, is your collection. You look at it from a collector, but you have to look at it from an industry if you love to collect. Because you want it to be healthy for years and years and years and pass it to your son or your daughter and enjoy it for the rest of your life. You don't want it to be, oh yeah, I'm good, I can get into this because I know what I'm doing. It's if you lose. Think about what you would lose if all wax at shops went away. A ton of shops would shut down. How many breakers would you see? Because that means breakers too. So no breaking, no shops. How much does that affect the hobby and the trades within the hobby? Right? I think the best, and again, Mars, this is just my opinion. So internationally, I think the next move is, my dream is within the next 18 months to open a store overseas. To me, that would be, I think the hobby needs to grow overseas and grow to shops overseas rather than kneecap the hobby with direct to consumer, just so international customers that are tech savvy get their cards. I think there needs to be an overhaul of how to get cards internationally. And I mean, that's my goal, is to open one overseas. I'd like to do that. We are bringing a store to Texas, Miguel. Did you not hear that? I was about to say, are you overseas, Mars? We're opening one in Dallas in the next 3 months, my dude. I'm pretty excited about it. Dallas, Napa, Sonoma area, and New York in the next 3 months. We're opening 3 more stores. So to me, it's the naming, and I just don't know. Crazy things happen in negotiations, but I don't understand what you would pay for. If I run a business, I just bought the licenses, you can't make any cards anymore, and I'm going to pay you what for the name of this? When other names have switched before and it hadn't killed that league of cards. I don't know how that happens, especially between people that probably aren't real happy. Then it's all about distribution and how does the distribution shake out, because it could either spur a lot of new hobby shops and do all that, or it could kneecap hobby shops and breakers and certain booths at shows and all that. Or it could just do the exact opposite and grow this crazy and still keep your direct online stuff. And then it's the industry as a whole, production, quality, all that. This is how I kind of like think of all this. Brad, thanks, man. I hope I'm yapping a lot, but I hope it's, I don't know, interesting to hear one dude's opinion. So, anyway, what else y'all know?
You're showing the wax?
Yeah, we can do that.
Good. All right. So, let Jimmy take a breather for a second
Just grab my drink.
and show you guys some of the stuff that we've got to rip tonight, as David says. Dave, are you excited?
Excited.
Yeah.
Get on it.
David has the boxes.
Yes.
All right.
I'll have
So,
the orders.
show you guys some different things here that we've got. I'm going to flip it around, show you. So, not everything eligible to break up on the wax wall simply because it would take a lifetime to open a thing at Topps Jumbo. But show you guys some of the stuff that we do have.
Yeah, I just wanted to see you.
Oh, yeah, you're good. If you want to take it, you can.
Yeah, no, I was just seeing what Mars said. I think he's making really good points for the overseas buyers who I am very invested in overseas, but obviously with Juan Pablo and folks from Colombia and Bogota that we love. And also, I lived in London, by the way, for a little while, and collecting cards was definitely difficult. But I think that is the place, that's where I want to go next. It's really great, and I've got lots of friends like Toman and Normandy and other people where it's like, if I could just go over there and create a great shop, and then that puts it on the shop, Mars, because overseas you have to educate more on cards because there's not as much of the growing up in America. Even if I didn't collect, I knew a guy that did with his dad and all that stuff. So it puts an education component on the shop, which we do every day, especially since the boom. So if we're doing it every day since the boom, let's go do it in Barcelona, Paris, and London. Anyway, it gets me real excited. So go back to wax.
All right. So, show you guys some of this, since everybody's making fun of my chin strap beard now. Let's see. So, we've got all the Mosaic Euro, Chronicles Soccer, little Merlin Chrome, Luminance, Prestige, few Optic Blasters left. Just got this today. This is 2011 Gridiron gear if anybody wants to go Blaine Gabbert hunting, I guess. But also, Cam Newton, Julio Jones, all those guys. Certified, brand new, Chronicles Draft, Legacy, Topps Chrome, which is one of Jimmy's favorites. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else we've got on the site.
These for 2 years.
I know we've got Clearly Donruss on the site.
I love Clearly Done.
We have one box left of Bundesliga. If anybody wants to go
Trey
G hunting.
Ball.
Hit that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And then we've got a little Finest Champions League. Now down here in the corner,
Go big.
we've
or
got
go home.
18-19 Optic, Luca Rookie Year, the Hobby Edition. So that's a pretty big one. We've got Clearly Authentic, Immaculate Baseball, which has been unbelievable
That has been actually
this
really
year.
fun this year.
And then what I think is a really good investment, we have Select Hybrid and regular Select UFC. So we've got quite a bit, and if you go to KentuckyRoadShowShop.com, you can see all the prices, everything like that. Thank you, Jimmy,
Use the code free shipping.
for free U.S.
For
shipping.
US shipping.
Yes. And if you guys hadn't heard today, made this announcement.
Yeah,
Isaiah Jackson, first round pick from the Pacers, will be in shop Friday, September 10th. So all of the ticket information, times, all of that good stuff is on our site. Dubs did a great job setting all that up. But so excited to have Isaiah in here. This is gonna be awesome. So I'm gonna hand it back to my dude Jimmy, and hopefully we rip some wax.
Yeah. That is awesome. Jen, tell Jen, hey, is Tristan McKenzie a good investment?
He's a pitcher in the Cleveland market, so I mean he's fantastic.
Right.
And I mean I think the world of the kid, but you got to look at more than just talent.
Kayla,
when you look
what's
at
up?
pitchers. You got to kind of think about, okay, what is his overall promise? Like look at Shane Bieber. What's
Yeah.
his market? That dude is on another world. And look at his market.
Good advice. Look at Shane. Manny, what's up? JD, what's up? I feel much better about Quickly than Maxie at this point, though. You never know. Is Baker a good investment?
They might miss her, and like the Steelers going down.
Steelers.
Well, unless they
Yeah.
draft another really good QB, they've got a good defense.
Debo-tron, what's up, my dude?
And not to hate on Jimmy, but I mean, you can never really believe in the Bengals all the way.
Tell PA I said what's up. Can't wait. He's coming in, I think, next week. Oh, man, WK. I am so excited about those. Actually, let me show y'all. I'm going to reset this real quick because I want to make... Hey, Lou, we just answered that. I think I'm just going to reset this real quick because I want to make sure the first part gets downloaded right so I can repost it. So I'll be back on in like literally 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Hold on.